Sometimes I wonder what Sid and I'd be like if we'd had a better home life. Maybe we wouldn't have grown up to be so difficult.
Difficult's good, Vedra. You took what you had and made it yours. That's all any of us can hope for.
If only you'd raised us, old man.
Haha, it would have turned out so much worse. Maybe a better shot, though.
Hey guys, welcome to the guide. I'm trying to make this episode YouTube friendly because I cuss like a sailor, so I gotta get my cussing like out of the way right off the get-go. So you stupid beep and beeps and some more beeps, and then what the beep were you thinking? You beep. Okay, that makes me feel better. I did that because I come from a website called Minds.com, and it's a pretty cool website, and they let me get away with way more beep than YouTube will let me get away with. So it's a cool website. It's still in beta. We're still trying to figure out what the beep we're doing. We really are. It's still in beta. We're still trying to figure out what we're doing with the website. It's a cool website. Go check it out if you want to. Check out River Rose, even though me and her got into a huge fight one night because, well, she started stripping and I was beeping pissed at her. And I was beeping, had some stuff in my system, and yeah, it turned out pretty badly, but whatever, it was hilarious in hindsight. Alright, with that, hey guys, welcome to the guide. In this episode, we are talking about the mass media, social unrest, and the problems with the mass media. Alright, so first things first, Hollywood, they're out of ideas. They have dried up their idea pool, and there are no more ideas, fresh, original ideas coming out of Hollywood. That's why Hollywood has turned to superhero movies, because comic books still have some originality to them and still have some original stories going on, but Hollywood is out. They have tapped their limit on original ideas. All the original Hollywood movies that have been done were done in the 70s and 80s, and after that, they've just been re-ramping them and, like, making new editions with shiny graphics. So, Hollywood is out of ideas. And, like, what do we got left in Hollywood movie stars, you know? Like, Hollywood movie stars. Actually, I don't know any Hollywood movie stars. I know Kim Kardashian, and that's the only reason is because I wanted to see her naked. And I've already seen her naked, so I don't really care about Kim Kardashian anymore. Like, really, that was my only interest in her, was to see her naked. And then, once I saw her naked, no more interest. Second is the news media. You know, like your news channels, CBS News, NBC News, Fox 31 News, whichever news channel is your go-to channel of choice. It doesn't really matter. Like, just for the nightly news, alright? How many news shows do they put on just for the nightly news? You got, like, the 7 o'clock news, you have the 9 o'clock news, and then you have the 10 o'clock news. So there's 3 hours of just news that they put on each and every day. And how much of that 3 hours of news is actually useful information to the person watching it? I'll bet not very much of it. I mean, of course you're not going to watch 3 hours, all 3 shows. Of course you're not going to do that. But if you're just going to watch one, right? So you spend an hour of your life each day watching an hour of news. Of whichever, NBC, ABC, Fox 31, doesn't really matter. Any of those, you know, like how much is that actually useful information? Of that hour that you watch, how much of that news program is useful information to you? So, of course, you got the weather. That's kind of useful, but that's only like 5 minutes long. And even then, they're only right about half the time. Like, it's gonna be sunny tomorrow, and then you wake up tomorrow and it's cloudy. Like, you know, they're only right about half the time. So it's useful, but it's really not that useful. And then, but you still got 45 minutes of a show left to watch. Okay, how much of that 45 minutes of the show is like useful information? I'll be honest, a lot of it is just filler that they put in there just to fill up that extra time. That's a lot of that stuff's just filler. Like, one of my, like, the news program that I used to watch, one of their favorite things to do was to go pick on some restaurants about their report card on, you know, their health report card. Like some random restaurant, they find this random restaurant and pick on them for their health report card. You know, even if I live in the city, what's the chances I'm going to run into that restaurant anyways? Like, there's very small chance that I'm going to ever interact with that restaurant anyways, even if I live in the state. It's like 100 to 1 odds that I'm going to actually go and visit that restaurant. It's not very useful information. I don't think so anyways. And if there's a shooting that day, you know, like, you know, a shooting, because they love shootings. News media, news loves shootings, because bad news is the best news, because people are like magnets to bad news. If there is a shooting that day, they are definitely covering that, because that is the thing to be covering, is people dying. Yes, that is the most important news you can have, apparently, is that people died today in a shooting between police officers and some dumb schmuck. It's pretty much what it is. It's like some dumb schmuck and police officers got into a firefight today, and the some dumb schmuck got shot. Okay, that's the news right there. And like, people will watch this like crazy. I don't care. Like, you could, like, the most pure-hearted liberal out there who shuns me for being a hunter, when there's a shooting, they are like a magnet to the TV screen. They are like, oh, this is important. I have to watch this. It's just, why? Well, why do you need to watch about a shooting? Like, if anything, they shouldn't even cover it. They should just be like, it was some dumb schmuck who sucked at life, and we shouldn't be covering this. We should not bring attention to some dumb schmuck, because then there's other some dumb schmucks who might try to emulate them. And while I'm on this topic, take the shooting that happened, what, a year ago in Florida? The one with the crazy Muslim guy that went all crazy in the gay bar. I live in Colorado, right? That happened in Florida. Why is that important to me? How does that affect my life as a person who lives in Colorado? Why do I need to know about some shooting that happened in a gay bar in Florida? How does that affect my life? I don't know anybody at the shooting. I don't know any of the victims. I mean, how does that affect me? And if I did, well, I would figure it out, because I'm sure my mom would be crying her eyes out, and I'd be like, well, what's wrong? And she'd be like, well, Johnny got killed in this shooting. Then I would find out. Then it kind of pertains to me. But as a person who lives in Colorado, I don't need to know about something like that happened in Florida. It doesn't affect my life whatsoever. I heard about it. I saw it. Like, news media was making a huge giant deal out of it, and I shrugged, and I went on with life. Plus, what's even the definition of a mass shooting? Like, what exact number defines a mass shooting? How many people have to die for it to be considered a mass shooting? Because, like, news networks, they throw that term around willy-nilly. Like, if 5 people die in a shooting, it's considered a mass shooting according to them. So I went online, I looked at it, I looked up mass shooting definition, couldn't find the answer, so I guess the nearest thing I could come up with that would have been close was a mass grave. And the definition for a mass grave is a large number of unknown bodies. That's the definition for a mass grave. So it's a large number of something. So I guess what defines a large number? Like 5 people, that's not a large number. That's like a few. So what about 10 people? Well, you're getting there, but that's more like many. So I guess what about 20 people? What would 20 people define? That's getting to be a large number, but that's not like a lot number. That's not a big number. So that 20 people is like a lot of people, maybe. So what about 50 people? I would say 50 people is a large number of people, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say, if 50 people did not die in a shooting, then it is not a mass shooting. It's just a large shooting, or a mini shooting, or a few shooting. But that does not have the same impact as a mass shooting. A mass shooting, that sounds serious. That's like, oh, it was a mass shooting, was it? Oh man. So like they use the term mass shooting because it has more shock. It hits you bigger than a large shooting. There was a large shooting today. That doesn't have the same impact as there was a mass shooting today. So if they can't even get the term down right, then why should I trust them with the rest of the news, right? Alright, thanks for watching.
You're not expendable, Drake. We are not having this conversation.
I don't know. No harm hearing him out.
I hate you all. Let me be old and cranky in peace already.